Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on episode Side Flick. My name is Chris. Let's dive into all the movie news we got to discuss here today. We got some neat little things to talk about. One, some of you have been asking me on my thoughts on the Obi Wan Kenobi trailer. I'll be letting you know what I think of that. We're going to be discussing here the villain finally revealed for the Kraven the Hunter movie. First look at the live action Pinocchio film for Disney Plus. Warner Brothers deciding to delay so many of their superhero movies. Even an update on the latest live action Looney Tunes movie I'm so excited for. That along with so much more. So many of you guys give me your opinions with everything we discuss here today. As always, there will be timestamps in the description if there's something you just want to jump right into or skip over. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into our first little news subject here, and that is with the Obi Wan Kenobi trailer. Now, you guys know around the channel here, there is a lot of stuff I love in particular, whether it's Spider-Man, Batman, horror movies. But Star Wars just was one of those things that I saw way too late in life, and by the time I saw it, I was like, this is pretty cool. I just don't have the love and passion like some of y'all did who grew up watching it. No joke, the first time I saw A New Hope, technically the first Star Wars movie, I was 19 years old. And don't get me wrong, I liked the movie for its time, but I know I probably would have been obsessed with this franchise if I had seen it as a kid and just rewatched those movies over and over. So to this day, I'm just a very minimal casual fan to the Star Wars franchise. I check out all the big movies and I'll check out the occasional show. Like I definitely got really into The Mandalorian. You can see my baby Grogu back there. But then when it came to Book of Boba Fett, I decided to skip out on that. So now coming to the Obi Wan Kenobi series, this is something I definitely am interested to see. And with this trailer that they released, oh my god, does this show actually look really great. I am loving what they're doing here with the cinematography. Just this new planet they're introducing us to that is supposed to be like Tokyo inspired, but for Star Wars, just looks so mesmerizing. I'm glad it's not just gonna be all Obi-Wan Kenobi covered in sand 24/7. I gotta admit, I was rather surprised they didn't really throw that big of a hint towards Darth Vader and Anakin. I guess maybe they're saving that for the next big trailer. And here is where being just a casual Star Wars fan kind of works against me, is because some people are really excited to see this character, the Inquisitor. Some people not too happy with his design. I think it looks okay. It's kind of hard to bring in those specifically shaped characters into live action form, but the dude's got a spinning lightsaber, and who could not be excited about that? So I'm definitely going to be giving this a treasure. I'm definitely looking forward to it, more for Obi-Wan and Anakin reuniting and having that rematch, but I'm also hoping I get into all the other Star Wars canon in here, even though I'm not too familiar with the animated stuff. Some of you more diehard Star Wars fan, how did you feel about the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer? Was it everything you wanted it to be? And if you're someone like me who's just a casual fan of Star Wars, does this interest you? Jumping down to some of our other movie news stories here, we have the Kraven the Hunter movie finally casting the villain that'll be fighting their villain. Deadline here reports that Kraven the Hunter, Christopher Abbott, to play the Foreigner in Sony's Marvel pick. From everything that this article is stating, it looks like Christopher Abbott will be the antagonist for Kraven the Hunter in whatever mission he has in that movie. In my little bit of research, since he is a minor villain I wasn't too familiar with, it looks like the Foreigner is your typical mercenary who gets hired to go ahead and take out other people, but he does have an ability where he can hypnotize you or put you in this trance for about 10 seconds. He mainly uses this just to go ahead and stun his victims and make it appear like he's running at supersonic speed. But with the way Sony has been treating some of these lesser known Spider-Man characters, they'll probably change things up, or they might not even give this boy superpowers. It's just gonna be the broken record I've been saying. Is anybody gonna be interested in watching Kraven the Hunter, Aaron Taylor Johnson, fight against this lower tier Spider-Man villain? When Morbius comes out, that'll either be the shock around the world that people are willing to see anything as long as it relates to Spider-Man, or that movie's gonna bomb and they're gonna reconsider all these other spin-off movies. I know I'm sounding skeptical. I'm excited for this Kraven the Hunter movie, but I gotta admit, I just want to see Kraven go ahead and do his Kraven things. I could care less about this villain. How are you guys feeling about this guy, the Foreigner, being added as the villain for the Kraven the Hunter movie? Something else that was going on yesterday is Disney did have a little bit of an Investors Day meeting. It's not one of their grander ones that was known to the public where they were going to be announcing so much stuff, but it is the reason why we got the Obi Wan Kenobi trailer and a few little other updates with Disney. And the other big one they revealed here is our first look at the live action Pinocchio movie with Tom Hanks. In this photo right here, you clearly see Tom Hanks playing the character of Geppetto, looking at what is undeniably Pinocchio. I know some people are really up and down with these live action Disney remakes, but Pinocchio was one I watched a lot as a kid, so I do have it in a special place in my heart, and I am pretty curious to see what kind of visuals they can pull out here, because I think Pinocchio has the potential to have some really cool sequences, particularly with the whale, or if Pinocchio will be turning into a damn donkey in this movie, because that gave me nightmares as a kid. And speaking on Pinocchio himself, I do remember them saying that he will be mostly CGI when he's out and about moving, but from this one instance, he looks pretty fine. It probably is just a regular wooden puppet. And the last interesting thing to note about this movie is it is going exclusively to Disney Plus. That'll be coming out September of this year, and that kind of surprises me, man. I thought Pinocchio would be one of those popular ones they would want to throw out in theater, but I guess this is just one of those that you'll get when it goes to streaming. So I'm excited for this movie, and I thought this first look was perfectly fine. How do you guys feel about the first look of Tom Hanks as Geppetto in the live-action Pinocchio movie? Alright, something else that happened yesterday that kind of surprised a lot of movie fans out there is Warner Brothers going ahead and delaying so many of their upcoming superhero movies. There are a couple in here that aren't superhero related, so we'll get to those first. Warner Brothers did go ahead and announce that Meg 2: The Trench has been set for a release date of August 4th, 2023. So if you were someone excited for Jason Statham fighting off a shark, there you go. That's when you can expect that movie. And they decided to move the upcoming Willy Wonka movie, that's kind of like his origin story, starring Timothée Chalamet. That movie was moved from March 2023 all the way to December 2023. But moving on to the bigger surprises here is basically every upcoming superhero movie that was going to be released this year from DC got moved. Starting off here with DC Super Pets movie that did have their trailer recently released, and I gotta say, even though they're the reason I lost my original Twitter account, still never recovered those followers, so if you want to go ahead and do that for me, that'd be really nice. But putting that anger aside a little bit, that new trailer they released showing Keanu Reeves as the voice of Batman had me dying. I think the movie actually looks like a lot of fun now. I'm curious to see it, and we were supposed to see it May 20th of this year, and now we'll have to wait till July 29th. The next big DC movie that went ahead and got moved was Black Adam. We were supposed to see that movie July 29th, 2022, and now it's been pushed all the way to October 21st, 2022. So at least it's still releasing this year, but I do already feel kind of bad for Halloween Ends now that it's going to be releasing only a week apart from Black Adam. That's a situation that's bad for both movies, man, because Halloween Ends is supposed to be like the ending of the trilogy, and whenever you have the ending of a series, usually a lot of people show up to that. But Black Adam is also like a highly anticipated movie with Dwayne Johnson as your main character. A lot of people are going to show up for that, so I think both those movies are going to hit a loss with each other. But then came the real heartbreaking, kind of confusing stuff. The Flash that we were promised to get in 2022 has now been moved to 2023. Originally supposed to be set for November 4th, 2022, it'll now be released June 23, 2023. This Flash movie has gone through so many release dates. The first release date of this film was like in the year 2018, and then it's been just shuffled and pushed and moved all the way to 2023. To put on top of that, there's so much unnecessary hate for this movie because of what it's doing to DCEU's multiverse, where they're mixing things up, erasing other things, replacing some actors here and there. Like, I just wanted to see the answers and for the Flash to have his own spectacular film. And now we literally have to wait another year plus a couple of months. Oh, I'm hurting for you, Barry. But also there's a part here we're not talking about too much, in that the Flash is kind of an important film to come out first. I'll let you know what I mean by that here, but let's continue on with the list with Aquaman 2. This was a movie we were supposed to get December of this year, but now it's been moved to March 17th of 2023. Okay, so not so bad. That one just got moved about 3 months. We could wait a little longer for that, but the interesting thing to note there was there were reports and rumors coming out that Michael Keaton Batman was gonna have some sort of cameo in Aquaman 2. We found this out because IMDb went ahead and listed one of Michael Keaton's production assistants on the set of Aquaman 2 assisting Michael Keaton. So it seemed like whatever was happening in The Flash, we were gonna get some other answers in Aquaman, since originally it was gonna be The Flash first, then Aquaman. Now we're put in a situation where Aquaman 2 comes out first, then The Flash a couple months later. To me, that might let me know they might get rid of that Michael Keaton cameo for Aquaman 2, since it won't make all that much sense, since the timeline hasn't been reset yet and the general audiences haven't seen The Flash yet. It's kind of one of the reasons that Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness went through so many reshoots, because that movie was originally supposed to come out before Spider-Man No Way Home, but then with all the delays and COVID, Spider-Man No Way Home came out first, and then they had to reshoot so much of Doctor Strange 2 to make it fit with that continuity. With Aquaman 2, I think it's just going to be as simple as removing a cameo. But the other reason I was bringing up that The Flash 2 coming out first is kind of important is because we were supposed to get Batgirl coming out this December. Sure, that's a movie that's going to be released straight to HBO Max, but the whole continuity and plot point of Batgirl is dependent on us seeing The Flash first, because Batgirl will be one of the first films that is completely changed because of The Flash, where you have Michael Keaton Batman as this sort of new Batman that's not really the Tim Burton Batman or Ben Affleck Batman, because this one had a Robin that's supposed to be introduced in the movie that's eventually going to get his own Nightwing movie. Confusing stuff, I know, so that might mean we might not even get Batgirl on HBO Max this year. They might actually move that till next year in December, since that film takes place around Christmas, and they would just rather release it around the same season. But still, it gets even crazier, because aside from continuity and whatnot, Shazam 2: Fury of the Gods was supposed to release in June 2023, and they decided, let's move that up 6 months. So now we're gonna get that film sooner than we thought, coming out this year, December of 2022. So that's kind of like the nice little shock that we didn't expect to see Shazam this year, and now we will. But the weird side about that is it's coming out the exact same day as Avatar 2. And look, if you've been watching me on this channel for a while, you know I've been saying I think Avatar 2 will make a lot of money. It'll be a big success, but I don't think it'll be anywhere near the big, huge boom that first movie was. But with those films coming out on the exact same day, that is not a good idea, and one of them is gonna have to move. I'm thinking it's gonna be Avatar 2, but that film has already changed its release date so many times. It's just so wild that Warner Bros. Has decided to do this, because like when I went to go see The Batman, 3 times now, each time I go see it, they play that clip at the beginning of the movie. The movie's coming out for 2022, the year of DC. And then just a couple of weeks later, that ad is now completely useless, because half of those movies are not releasing in 2022 now. At the end, most of these movies have already been shot, and it's just visual effects work and other reshoots that they need to go ahead and pick up on. So these films we're gonna get for sure. It just sucks that we have to wait a little longer for some. How are you guys feeling about Warner Brothers delaying these films, and which one are you most devastated by? But the other thing that Warner Bros. Did go ahead and update us on is this new live-action Looney Tunes movie that is coming up. Some of you guys might have heard me talk about this already. It is called Coyote vs. Acme, and essentially this movie is going to be Wile E. Coyote going ahead and suing the Acme Corporation because they always sold him products that ended up backfiring on him. They already announced a couple of weeks ago that John Cena will be playing one of the characters in this movie, said to be the antagonist, and now it looks like we have our human protagonist that'll be defending Wile E. Coyote. Deadline here has it reported that Will Forte and Lana Condor to co-star with John Cena in Looney Tunes live-action animated hybrid pick Coyote vs. Acme. From the description they have here, it says the film follows Wile E. Coyote, who after Acme products fail on him one too many times in his dodged pursuit of the Roadrunner, decides to hire a billboard lawyer to sue the Acme Corporation. The case pits Wile E. and lawyer Forte against the latter's intimidating former boss, Cena, but a growing friendship between man and cartoon strokes their determination to win. Reminder, this is being produced by James Gunn, and it currently has a release date of July 2023. I love Will Forte. I think the man is hilarious. He does not get enough work in my opinion, so for him to be kind of this down on his luck lawyer that's gonna team up with Wile E. Coyote trying to defeat John Cena, who's also another lawyer, yo, that sounds like a lot of fun. The only thing I'm curious about is how are they gonna integrate all the other Looney Tunes into this? Like, I'm happy if it's Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner there, like that's kind of fun, but I'm like, I also want to see Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, all the other characters. Are they gonna manage to fit them in, or will they be so sidelined that you won't really feel their presence? I'm also curious just how the movie's gonna play out in general, with them just being mainly in a courtroom, or will it be a lot of flashbacks to old failed experiments with Wile E. Coyote and these Acme products? I don't know. Either way, I'm just happy more live action Looney Tunes is coming to theaters, and with the addition of these two cast members, I think the film has only gotten better. So how are you guys feeling about this addition to the live action Looney Tunes movie? And do you think the more specific plot they've laid out to us sounds fun to you? But that is all the movie news we currently have going on right now, guys. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch me talk some movie news. Be sure to leave me your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Also go follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But either way, you guys are amazing. As always, I'm Chris. Take care.